Chris Gildon from the 25th Legislative District, all the way down in Puyallup. And I was so happy to make the trip up here today. Let me just take a little poll. Is there anybody here that goes to church? Anybody go to church? So you familiar with missionary trips and all that kind of stuff? I kind of like to do my own version of missionary trips in the political sense. So I like to go out into those areas where Republicans typically don't go, right? And so I found myself in that situation just the other day. I went to an event in Tacoma, and I think I was the only Republican in the room. And I found myself seated next to Senator Maria Cantwell. Well, she didn't know who I was, so it was all good. And so we got there, and of course it was still mask season, so everybody was masked up. Speaker Lori Jenkins got up there, and she led off by saying how this was the first event she had been to since COVID happened. Can you believe that? Even Senator Cantwell looked over to me, and she said, she lowered her mask, and she said, I can't tell you how many events I've been to. And we giggled a little bit, and that was fun. So then, a little bit later, we're chatting back and forth, and she says, so what are you guys working on in Olympia? And I said, well, it's budget season. She still doesn't know who I am. So it's budget season, and one of the biggest things going on is we're trying to get the transportation budget going, and the big push right now is for a 6-cent tax on fuel exports. So to Alaska, Oregon, you've heard about this, right? So she looks at me and she says, well, I didn't think that could happen. Is that even legal? Doesn't that violate the Interstate Commerce Clause? And I said, well, Senator, I agree with you, but those Democrats in Olympia, they just don't see it that way. But I am so happy to be here today because Senator Braun mentioned 21 to 28. Just about every bad bill that passes Olympia passes out on a 21 to 28 vote. And I tell you what, we've got the 25th vote that we need right here to pass good legislation. Anita, as you all know, she is tenacious, she's audacious, she is bold, she is courageous, and she is the right person at the right time for the 38th Legislative District. Let me do a little bit of compare and contrast real quick. So who here supports the capital gains income tax? Anybody? Because your current senator was the one who wrote the bill. I'm just saying. Who here supports a tax on insurance to make health care more expensive by $534 million per year? Anybody? Because your current senator wrote that bill too. How about let's go on a tax on housing, $300 million per year. You like that one? She also wrote that one. I'm just saying. A tax on soda, sweetened beverages. There's another one. What about drug crimes? Do we have a drug problem around here? Anybody see people on drugs and just hurting, living in the streets? Well, we passed a bill recently called State v. Blake. It was the fix to State v. Blake. It's Senate Bill 5476. And that basically made possession of illegal drugs legal in our state. Guess who supported that? Your current state senator. Guess who's going to get us onto Olympia and reverse all of those bad policies by being our 25th vote and getting us into the majority so that we can actually pass sensible, fiscally responsible legislation in Olympia? Anita. Yeah, that's it. Anita. That's it. So I'm happy to be here today to support Anita, and I wish you all of the best, and I thank you so much for running, and I don't know who's next, but I'll be glad to hand off the microphone. All right, thank you. God bless. Thank you.